Okay, we just went next door to Instagram Live. We're on Facebook. It looks exactly the same. Pretty amazing. Good Friday afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Gretsch afternoon drum break. And I'll explain, hey Neil, and I will explain to you the reason why we call it the drum break. Twofold, a little play on the words drum break. So we have, if you were at work, imagine that time back again. If you're on your break and you're taking a little bit of a break, which is great, juxtaposed with the musical term drum break, meaning a little drum solo or a little feature. And this is what we do on the program here. We feature both Gretsch drum endorsers, call them artists, and we talk about their journey and their musical endeavors, mixed in with a lot of talk about Gretsch drums, because Gretsch drummers tend to be borderline fanatical, where we really do love, hey, my pepperonis, no, where we do love Gretsch drums a whole lot, and you're kind of a lifelong drum fan here. So my guest today comes all the way from the Edmonton area. I think it's Morinville. I'll find out how to say that. And he's recognized as a drummer that plays with a lot of country artists, most notably Gord Bamford. But his playing, his list of credits that he's either recorded with or that he has played live with, took a couple of pages. He sent me the link to his site. And I looked at his bio and went, I know that person, no. Well, it was like, it literally was a whole page and a bit just of names. This is how in demand this gentleman is. And I've never spoken to him in person. This will be the first time that we've had any conversation. I don't even know what his voice sounds like. I'm going to bring on Mr. Chad Melchert. So let's say hello to Chad. I want to view you. Chad Melchert, I'm waiting for you. This is going to be a lot of fun. Hey!
Here I am.
We, we did it. Thank you for being so flexible, and I'm glad that we both have those platforms, because man, oh man. Did you do that art behind you? That looks lovely.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I
No?
think it was,
Are those your favorite colors?
no, blue is.
Nice. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for being here. It's a pleasure. I've known you through social media for a couple of years, and you've always been so supportive and gracious to me. And I remember, I think I even, before we kind of met each other here, I checked out who you were, because I played in the country scene a little bit over the last few years, and I'm like, who's this Chad Melchert guy that keeps winning this drummer of the year stuff? And I'm going, oh, so he's played with pretty well everybody, a lot of people. So your
Yeah,
background is varied, and you're a busy guy. So I'm really happy to meet you in person. I will
yeah,
give you
it's nice.
a talk, don't worry. And thanks so much for coming all the way from where are you exactly?
I live in it's a smaller city, well, town, just outside of Edmonton called Morinville.
It is Morinville. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's around 10,000 people, but it's pretty quick to get into the city and
Nice.
a little bit more relaxed. I grew up in Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, which isn't overly huge, so I like the smaller town city vibe for me.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I think I would too. Um, so, as I was saying to folks, that you are known for playing in the country scene, but you also did a few several month long tour playing the We Will Rock You
hmm
show. Was it? It was North America, was it?
Yeah, it was North America. We did lots of shows in the US, and then we did a couple months in Canada. Oddly enough, we just finished up, I guess, 2 weeks shy of all of this COVID stuff happening. So it was, kind of perfect timing in a bad world sense, But
Yeah.
we finished just at the right time and got to see most of the US and right clear across Canada as well, before this craziness all started. So pretty fortunate.
I couldn't believe how many dates that this, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know who Chad is, please check him out on social media, either Facebook or Instagram. I don't know if you do any of the others, but you are probably the busiest drummer that I know, apart from the Kenny Aronoffs, but I'm telling you, you rival these folks in terms of the sheer volume of work. I notice I'm like, still on the road? Oh yeah, he's still on the road. Day number, show number.
Yeah,
How
yeah.
many did you do on the We Will Rock You?
I wish I had the exact date, but it was 140 or something like that. It was, yeah, it was a lot of dates, and the U.S. Leg was, wonderful but tedious. We did a lot of 5 days in a row, one day off. It's one thing to be in the band was, we have a fairly hard job, but our crew they were setting up a full stage every day with, big metal props. And we really did. Every day I just, thank God that I had the easy job and all of it. I just set up my kit, play the show, and tear down, and those guys were the real heroes in it all.
Yeah, they usually are. I can
Yeah,
imagine back in the days when bands like
yeah,
Rush and all those guys with the tremendous amount of gear that they
yeah,
have. And then there's stories of them doing 20, 24, 25 dates in a row, something like that. Crazy.
yeah.
I wanted to start at the very beginning for you. And where and when did things musically begin for you?
Things really began. I was about 14 years old. I had an older brother, a year older than me, so I just wanted to be like him. And he started taking guitar. So originally I wanted to play bass, but we had a buddy who was playing bass, so I wanted to be in the band. So it was
Oh,
drums for me. Yeah.
uh,
Obviously growing up, I love the drums. Hit pails, pots, and pans and stuff. But it was kind of that little bit of a shove to be in my brother's band that got me playing drums in the first place. And luckily enough, I found it easy when I started. I didn't struggle with it at all. My personality at that age, if it had been difficult or tedious to me, I probably wouldn't have done it. I would have probably stopped. It was just the way I was as a young kid. So
yeah.
natural ability for me kind of took it. That was really the thing that took off for me. And that started around 14, just playing around local though, around Prince Albert, Saskatchewan.
Wow, that's neat. What was your first drum kit? What were you playing on?
They were Ravens. They were
Ravens.
horrible. Yeah, and I sat on a kitchen stool, and I had a broken crash cymbal, and Meinl, like when Meinl was not what they are today, they were called Meinl streamers. They were silver. I remember them.
I had, and my son
Yeah,
had a set of hi-hats. My first set of hi-hats. They were actually okay hi-hats.
yeah, they were great. They were fine, and the kitchen stool was all flowered and printed. It was ugly, but you know, you used what you had, and it was certainly good enough to learn on. And anything after that fact just got better. So yeah.
Was that your drum kit? Was that something that your folks got you, or was that one that was miraculously already in the house?
No, that my parents bought that one for me. I begged and pleaded, and I think we paid $300 at the, like our nowadays drums are substantially cheaper. I don't know if you remember that, but even as a young kid, you couldn't get kits for under $300.
Oh
Like,
no,
and they
yeah,
and they were garbage. Like they weren't good back then. You'd have to spend, $1,000 to get something good back then. It seemed.
yeah, Tama Swing Star kit or a Pearl Export or whatever, and
Yeah,
oh yeah, I know. I used to just drool over those catalogs. So what year was that you were 14?
that'd
In
be
the 80,
86,
80,
85, 86.
85,
Yeah,
86, I
I was
guess.
born in 72, so
Okay,
yeah.
that's awesome. Now, did you do any formal lessons or anything, or were you playing just on your own at that point and figuring things out?
Right after when I started drumming, it was really just playing to records and playing with my brother. Like we'd hear a song and kind of learn it. That's kind of how we did our things. But I did get my first drum instructor was a guy named Rob Hemsworth, who I'm still friends with today.
Yeah.
He was a local drummer. He was in a band called Sound Effects, which had a hit in the '80s. Yeah, they
Cool.
were quite popular in their day. And he had Gretsch drums. So that's my first experience with Gretsch drums. He had
And
they were kind of an aqua greeny. They weren't Cadillac green, but I don't remember what the color was, but that was just blew my mind when I saw that kit, and he actually let me learn on it. So it was
nice.
amazing. Yeah.
And that was really just the USA Customs and
Yeah, just USA Customs. And I remember just, I don't know, there was something magical about when you play your first set, and I was pretty young, like 14, 15 when I first played a USA Custom kit.
that must have been awesome. And you
It was, yeah.
probably hated going back to the Ravens.
Yeah.
You could even
Yeah,
put pinstripes on, and that was popular back when I started as well in the mid '80s. People were playing pins on those Gretsch drums, and they still
absolutely.
great. Anyway, oh, that was my next question. So when did you get a Gretsch kit?